Namaskar and good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Dr. Priyanka Kumari, I shall be the host for today's webinar. I am associated with EnviroVigyan since inception and the research lead in the area of groundwater quality management. On behalf of entire EnviroVigyan team, I welcome you all for your today's workshop on air quality. So before moving ahead, I'm glad to inform about the tremendous response that we have received for this workshop. We have received more than 150 responses for this workshop from all across the states in India. Now, about who we are. EnviroVigyan is a registered, not-for-profit, non-government organization founded by Dr. Anchal Garg in the year 2021. The scientific activities of this organization are supported by a dedicated team of experts drawn from academia and research institutions. The self-motivated dynamic group of experts works in multidisciplinary area of societal importance covering different issues of environmental concern. The research, training and awareness program focuses on the thematic areas ranging from air pollution, waste management, water and sanitation to climate change, ecosystem restoration and associated public health. Our vision at EnviroVigyan is to envision a world where people have the knowledge, awareness, and ability to promote environment, health, and well being of themselves and their surroundings. Now, it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce you all to our resource person, who is Dr. Anchal Garg. She is a gold medalist in MSc Environment Management and completed her PhD in air pollution related research work. She is also a DST Inspire awardee. At a such young age, she has been awarded for her good research work at various international platforms like BRICS Young Scientist, SCO Young Scientist, and ISCA Young Scientist. She has published 14 research papers in national and international high impact journals and has actively participated in number of national and international conferences. She also teaches environmental science at various colleges of Delhi University. So may I take the opportunity to welcome you, Dr. Anchal. So it's now over to you, Anchal.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Priyanka Kumari, for such a nice and brief introduction about me. So today as Dr. Priyanka Kumari told to all of you, that today we are here for an online workshop on air quality. So just wait and let me share my screen. Is my presentation visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
a very good
Yes.
afternoon to all of you.
Yes.
So today
Dr.
we are, yes. Any
Thank
question?
you to join me this valuable event.
Okay. So I think now we should start, and uh, today's workshop is Introduction to Air Pollution, its health impacts, how we can monitor air quality, and what are the control measures. And I'm starting the presentation with a tagline that Pradushan Hatao Vayu Se, Nata Badhao Ayu Se. So this is the content and the brief outline for the today's presentation. And now I before starting, I want to ask that do you, does anybody have any idea that how many deaths are till now due to COVID-19 all over the world? Anybody has any idea?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so it's about 6 million deaths since the COVID pandemic has occurred. Almost 6 million deaths are happened due to the effect of COVID-19. But if we are comparing the death of air pollution, then every year approximately 7 million deaths. 7 million is a big number. Almost 7 million occurred are happened due to the exposure of 7 million deaths are due to the exposure of unhealthy air, and this unhealthy air can be both outdoor as well as indoor. So if this is the picture released by the WHO, that at what regions the harmful effects of ambient air pollution has been observed, and you can see that over 2 million deaths are occurred in the Southeast Asian region. And out of these 2 million deaths, yes, India is also one of the country where the highest number of deaths, the highest number of mortality are associated by the harmful effects of air pollution. So this picture clearly shows that yes, air pollution is the silent killer, which is responsible for around 7 million deaths all over the globe every year. And if we are comparing at global level, then at global level, air pollution has been considered as the fifth largest global risk factor. And in India, it is considered as the third highest cause of death. In India, approximately 1.2 million premature deaths occur every year due to the exposure of unhealthy air, out of which approximately 56% deaths were due to the ambient air pollution, that is outdoor air pollution, whereas 44% by the household or the indoor air pollution. Now, if we are looking at the survey conducted by the World Health Organization, then at this survey for 1615 world cities, the air quality of Delhi, which is the capital of India, was found to be the worst. And also, according to WHO, according to their survey, they have identified that out of 10 every people present in this world, 9 people breathes unhealthy, or we can say the polluted air. So it is very important for us that our air should be healthy. Now, why air should be healthy? Recently in October, United Nations on Human Rights Council, they declare that clean environment is a fundamental right. And for having a clean environment, right now the most polluted thing in the environment is air. So we need clean air. So yes, access to a clean air is our fundamental right. If we are comparing, then approximately every day an adult breathes approximately 15,000 liters of air every day. It means if we are breathing that much air, then this air should be pure. It should be purest, so that not only for the living organism, not only for the human being species, but its purest form is important for the survival of the entire ecosystem. So, and this is the composition of air, that 78 plus 21 means 99%. 99% of air is primarily composed of nitrogen and oxygen gas. So this is the composition of air, and that's the reason that a healthy air is our birthright now. It is a fundamental right now. So now, what are the pollutants? Air is polluted because of the presence of various chemicals, various liquid, solid, particles present in the air make it polluted other than these gases. And if the concentration of suppose carbon dioxide is also increased, then also it can cause air to be polluted. So there are certain criteria air pollutants, because there are multiple number of air pollutants such as sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, volatile organic compound, polycyclic aromatic hydrocompounds, black carbon, your particulate matter of different aerodynamic diameters, various heavy metal. So obviously we have to make some pollutant to be the criteria. So criteria pollutants are the one which are the major indicator of air quality, and these pollutants are measured all over the world. Every country monitor them continuously, and every country monitor these pollutants in their continuous ambient air quality monitoring plan. So these are the 6 criteria air pollutant: carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, particulate matter, and lead. Now, from where these pollutants are coming and what are the harmful effects of these pollutants on human health, that we will discuss later on. So these are the 6 criteria air pollutant. And in India, the Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, along and other SPCBs, that is state pollution control boards, are working for these pollutant. They make the standards for these pollutant. They regularly monitor the level of these pollutant in our air, and then make the comprehensive plan that how we can manage the concentration of these pollutants in the environment. So these are the 6 criteria air pollutant. Now this picture shows that since I told in the first PPT that air pollution is responsible for 7 million deaths, and in these 7 million deaths, 3.8 million deaths are occurred due to the exposure of indoor air, whether it's the rural area or the urban area. The sources are different, but the death by the air pollution in indoor is also, we can't avoid it when we are talking about the mortality by the air pollution. So the females in the rural areas, when during the chula, when they are making food on chula, and the sprays which we used, they are having certain kind of aerosols, that is air pollutant. At our homes, houses, when our mothers are dal fry and these which we call choka lagana. So at that, this is the situation of a child, that child who are the most vulnerable one right now, starting from their age, even at the indoor air, forcefully he has to apply the mask because he don't have any chance. The most of the agarbattis, dhoop battis during the puja rituals, and the cigarette smoke. So these all are the one of the major concerns, and as well as the presence of high moisture at the home. So probably you feel that when the moisture at home is more, you will feel more suffocation, you will feel more health related issues, as well as there are certain volatile organic compounds which are the air pollutants. Yes, these are present at our home in the form of disinfectants. आज के time में बहुत ज़्यादा disinfectants हो गए, toilet cleaners हो गए, we are using these things a lot, and all of these things are having certain volatile organic compounds which are even carcinogen in nature, and the long-term exposure for these compounds may affect our health. Smoking is also one of the thing, and dust present at our home, at sofa, at the corners of the walls, there is a various dust, and the pet dander is also one of the indoor air quality danger. And outdoor air is also polluted. These are some of the picture during the smoke month, that is when the ambient air pollution in Delhi is high, that how the visibility has been reduced. You can easily see that the visibility of air is reduced during these days. And the common outdoor air concerns are, what are the sources from where these are coming? Industries are considered as one of them. Transportation activities are considered as one of them. Waste burning, including the biomass burning, is one of the common concern. Brick kilns, जहाँ पर ईंटें बनती हैं, that's one of the source. Then the thermal power plants where electricity has been generated are one of the source. Then the construction and road dust activities. Constructional activities nowadays has been considered as one of the major source of particulate matter emission. And the emission from the vehicles, at such busy life we all are having, the majority of the people are flying on the vehicles, their personal vehicles. So the more the number of vehicles, the more will be the emission. So these are the common outdoor air concerns we are facing. And these are the sources of air pollution, like which source is having the highest percentage. So all over the India, it has been considered that for the air pollution, the largest source is the dust and constructional activities. All the developmental activities are considered as the prime reason, followed by the waste burning practices. Then the third most highest cause is the transportation, then the generator which are running on the diesel, then 8% contributes by the industries, and 7% by the domestic cooking. So these are the different sources for air pollution in India. Now, when we are talking about these sources, whether it is transportation, dust, diesel, industries, then these are classified into different categories, that from where it is come first of all. So whether it is already present in the nature or it is coming by the human being activities. So in natural causes, the main things are the wind blown dust. Okay, dust storm events आते हैं उसके अंदर, then the wildfires and the active volcanoes. These are the natural causes of air pollution. But other than natural, the maximum air pollution nowadays is due to the anthropogenic activities. And in anthropogenic activities, these source, depending upon whether they are stationary, whether they are moving, or whether they are placed at a particular area, these are classified into 3 categories: mobile, stationary, and area. Mobile sources are the one which are in the moving form, which can move in a line manner, such as buses, planes, trucks, 2-wheeler, 3-wheelers, trains. These all are the mobile sources which are responsible for the air pollution. And stationary means the sources which are at the steady state, which are at the stop at a one particular place, such as the power plants, industries, all the factories, oil refineries. These are the stationary sources of air pollution. Then in area sources, those sources which require a large area. So when we are talking about the biomass burning, when we are talking about the stubble burning, agriculture area, or when we are talking about the fireworks, firecracker burning, then these all are coming under the area sources. And this is the one. Now these sources are again classified, firstly classified on the basis of from where these are coming, so natural or anthropogenic. Second is classified on the basis of whether the source is moving or stationary or required a large area. And thirdly, these pollutants are classified on 2 different categories. There are 2 different type of pollutants: primary air pollutant and the secondary air pollutant. So primary means who are primarily coming from any source, right? So say for example, if the emission of the particle is directly from the industry, it is directly from the vehicles, it is directly from the thermal power plant. So such kind of pollutant which are directly emitted are known as the primary pollutant, such as sulfur dioxide, directly emitted by the power plant, nitrogen dioxide, directly emitted by the vehicles, particulate matters, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. These are the pollutants which are directly emitted. But other than these pollutant, there are certain pollutant such as volatile organic compound. बहुत सारे environment में volatile organic compounds होते हैं, such as benzene, toluene. Benzene is a volatile organic compound. So when these volatile organic compounds, when these compounds react with, when 2 primary air pollutants react, we can say when these compounds react with NO2, such as nitrogen dioxide, then in the presence of sunlight, okay, so when these VOCs and NO2 react in the presence of sunlight, then the origin of secondary pollutant is there. Then the ozone is formed, and this ozone is your tropospheric ozone, which is present at the ground level. That is also known as the ground level ozone, which is pollution. So when the 2 different primary pollutants such as volatile organic compound and nitrogen dioxide, they react, and by the photochemical activities in the presence of sunlight, the other pollutant is originated. Such pollutant are known as the secondary air pollutants, such as your nitric acid, sulfuric acid, hydrogen peroxide, most of the nitrate ions, sulfate ions. So these are the secondary pollutant. Now coming towards that, from where the sulfur dioxide is coming and what are its harmful effects. So sulfur dioxide naturally coming through the volcanoes, and they are comparing it for the man-made source, then the combustion of fossil fuels, the thermal power plants, that is koila, petroleum and gases, that are the major sources of the sulfur dioxide. And we can reduce the sulfur dioxide by a process which is scientifically known as the flue gas desulfurization. And the excess of sulfur dioxide in ambient air may cause difficulties in breathing, and they can inflammate your lungs also. Inflammate matlab swelling in the lung. So If the swelling in the lung will be there, then the blood will not supply properly, and the presence of sulfur dioxide can also leads to the formation of sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, which is ultimately creating the acid rain. So right now the concentration of this sulfur dioxide has been reduced much in our fossil fuels, but still so much to do. Similarly, there is nitrogen dioxide. So nitrogen oxides are formed in various forms, such as nitrogen monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, and the natural sources for these pollutant is a lightning, whereas anthropogenic source includes the vehicle is the number one, and the coal burning, and the power plants, and the combustion processes, and environmental problem by the NO2 is this, that it is helpful in it is responsible for the formation of secondary air pollutant, which is ozone, ground level ozone. Also NO2 by the reaction from the nitric acid HNO3, which cause the acid rain, and just like SO2, NO2 is NOx are also responsible for the health problem, such as the inflammation in lungs and the asthmatic attacks and various problems. Okay, so next is carbon monoxide. The next criteria air pollutant is carbon monoxide. So the natural source of carbon monoxide release is the forest fires, by the wildfires. Forest में जो अचानक से कभी fires हो जाती हैं, natural cause. Other than this, it is emitted from the vehicles, biomass burning, gas appliances, industries, power generation. Now I hope in 10th class many of the student or many of the attendees of today's webinar has read about that carbon monoxide has the tendency to react with the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a component which is present in our red blood cells. Okay, when generally in hemoglobin there is an exchange of two gases, oxygen and the carbon dioxide. But if the carbon monoxide will enter into our lung system, then this carbon monoxide react with the hemoglobin cells, and it forms another compound which is carboxyhemoglobin, which is very harmful for our lung health. So it is also one of the harmful compound for our lung health. And then ozone, as I already told you, that ozone is of two types. One is good ozone and another is bad ozone. So good ozone, which is present in the stratosphere and which protect us from the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiations, and it is harmless, it is good for us. But there is the presence of bad ozone also, which is in the troposphere. Troposphere means our lower atmosphere, and this ozone is having various harmful effects on our health. And this ozone is formed, as I already told you, that from the by the reaction of nitrogen dioxide and volatile organic compounds, results in the formation of ozone. So now okay, so now coming to the particulate matter. Particulate matter is, these are the particles pollutant. The pollutant which is present in the form of particle is known as a particulate matter. And depending upon whether it is large particle or it is small particle, it is divided into two categories. So if the size of the particle is greater than less than or equal to 10 micrometer, 10 micrometer is very small size, then these are the coarse particle. And if the size is less than or equal to 2.5 micrometer, then that pollutant is known as a PM 2.5. So smaller the particle, more it is having the tendency to interact more deeper into our lungs and affect our health. So there are three sizes of the particulate matter. One is PM10, and then PM 2.5 and PM1. Central Pollution Control Board has already working for these two pollutant, that is PM10 and PM2.5. But the studies on PM1 are very less all over not only all over the India, in fact all over the world. PM1 is ignorant, but the size of the particle is so small that it can penetrate deeper into our lung. Say for example, we are inhaling air through our nostrils, then through the nostrils, the larger the particle, they will stuck out somehow in between our nose hairs, or they are not able to penetrate deep. But the smaller particle can go up to the alveoli, up to the lung system. In lung system we are having alveoli, so up to the alveoli, and through the alveoli they can interact with our heart system, and through the heart the blood is enter into the entire body. And that blood is, if impure, if that blood is having the presence of particulate matter one size, then it affects our entire system. It targets our kidney, it targets our liver. So the entire human health is somehow affected by the PM1 pollution. So the smaller the particle, the more is it having the effect on our human health. So now, till now, what I have discussed is that what are the pollutants. So basically, wait, I'm not able to, okay. Yes, so can anybody now explain that what we have discussed till now? Anybody from our team or our members?
Achal, can I?
Okay.
So till now, you have discussed about what is air pollution and kind of air pollution, like indoor and outdoor air pollution, how it is harmful for us, and different types of pollutants, harmful pollutants present in air pollution, outdoor air and indoor air also. So basically, you have emphasis on the outdoor air pollution and the pollutants, and how they are affecting our health also. So, and different type of PM also, you have discussed about the three types of particulate matter. So how the size of particulate matter is affected our health. So these are the points you have discussed till now. I
Okay.
hope everyone have a good
And adding to
knowledge
this,
about from your presentation.
Right.
and adding
Yes.
to this sources of different criteria pollutants as well as their effects you have also discussed.
Um, okay, thank you, Dr. Pramod Kumar and Dr. Priyanka Kumari. So till now we have discussed that how the air pollution is responsible for approximately 7 million deaths all over the world every year, and out of which 3.8 million are due to the exposure of indoor air pollution, whereas 4.2 million were due to the outdoor air pollution. And both, whether it is indoor or outdoor, both the air quality is degraded. And then we have discussed that we are having some criteria air pollutant. So we are having, not only we, the entire world is having the 6 criteria air pollutants, and every pollutant is having their different source and their different health effects. And the Central Pollution Control Board in India is already giving the standards for these pollutants. So now we are moving ahead after the sources. Now we are moving towards the health effects of air pollution. So is my PPT visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
So now
Yes, ma'am.
towards the health effects of air pollution. Now through this figure, you can see that this is the condition of the lung. This is a study which has been done at which has been carried out at Lucknow, which is city of Uttar Pradesh. This activity was doing under an awareness campaign for clean air. And there is a challenge that at day one the ये जो जितने भी lungs हैं outdoor air में इनको रख दिया गया था, and then देखा गया था that how much effect on these lung system is with the outdoor air pollution. So at day one the condition of lung is like it's completely white. At day two there is some particulate matter on, or some pollutant has been deposited, and at day 5 the lung has been completely converted into the black. So this is the picture that how particulate matter affects our lung too, and it that's why I said that air pollution is the silent killer. uh, and now there are various short term and long term health effects of air pollution. Short term are those which are immediately which we can observe immediately or after 1 day, 2 day, or within a year, whereas long term exposure things has been generally visible after a certain age, right? Say for example, I hope कुछ बच्चों ने या कुछ लोगों ने ये चीज सुनी होगी कि आपके घरों में मदर्स कभी कभी बोलते हैं कि कल तक तो वो अंकल जी एकदम हेल्दी थे एंड सडनली ही इज नो मोर, राइट? बहुत सारे लोगों ने ऐसा सुना होगा दैट ही इज वेरी एक्टिव, वेरी fine, but now he's no more. So it means there are the long term disease, and cancer is one of them. So lung cancer, the cases of lung cancer in India is increasing, and nobody knows that these are increased due to the long term exposure of ambient air pollution, due to the habit of smoking, because smoking also is one of the major air pollutant. So yes, air pollution is killing the lives by both short term effects and long term effects. Say for example, whenever you will go near any industry, you will feel that I am feeling some kind of suffocation, I am feeling some kind of headache, some kind of nausea, खांसी आने लगती है, छींक आने लगती है, ठीक है? And some people even feel the difficulty in the breathing. So these are the short term effects, that headache, nose, throat, eyes, आंखों में चुभन, cough होना, painful breathing होना, pneumonia, skin irritation. These are the short term effects of air pollution, whereas long term effect include the respiratory diseases, which include the asthma, bronchitis, and cancer, which I told you. And there are various cardiovascular diseases. Cardiovascular means which are related with the heart, and there are various respiratory diseases which are related with the lung. So the most targeted organ of ambient air pollution is lung, followed by heart, because both lung and heart are placed nearby the place, and all the oxygen from the lung has been transferred into our cardiopulmonary system, that is heart, for the complete flow of the blood. So these are the short-term and long-term health effects of ambient air pollution, and different air pollution is having the different kind of health effect. Say for example, the exposure to SO2 may cause headache and anxiety, and similarly the emission of the inhalation of particulate matter may impact your central nervous system, means your brain system, and the lungs can also be caused the effect of lungs can be by various compounds, by the nitrogen dioxide, by particulate matter, by BAP is benzo a pyrene, which is a class A carcinogen. Carcinogen are the compounds which are responsible for causing the cancer. So the lung cancer is can be there. There is one very famous disease which is known as a COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, and the cases of COPDs are increasing day by day in India. And asthma and may reduce the lung function, and similarly the cardiovascular disease may by the particulate matter. Now when I am talking about the cardiovascular disease, now can you please tell me that what kind of particle are responsible for the cardiovascular diseases? Anyone? In particles, what kind of particles can cause the cardiovascular
Hello.
diseases? Hello, yes.
Yes. Ma'am, I want to say that we should work from root. And root is that we should plant more and more trees. because trees can clean the air quality, and these also provides the oxygen, which is a great need for human health. Are
Okay.
you agree with my thoughts?
Uh, yes, sir. Can you please tell me name, like who is saying this? Can you please tell us your name, sir?
He is Bakshi Singh, I think.
Okay, okay. Yes, so trees and plantation is the one thing. So these are the control measures. We will come on that topic also later on. Initially, the purpose of this workshop is because in this workshop we are having a dynamic group. We are having different type of people. You know, we are having student, some school children also, some undergraduate student also, and some scientific communities also. So I'm making it simple so that everybody can be benefited from this presentation. So one by one we will discuss in this workshop. So till now we have discussed that why clean air is our right, and what are its effects on human health, and from where it is polluted. So that we have discussed till now. So when I'm talking about the cardiopulmonary diseases, then in cardiovascular diseases, particulate matter which are having the smaller diameter, right? Like smaller the particle, more it is having the tendency to penetrate deeper into the lung. So particulate matter of aerodynamic diameter 1 micrometer is more risky for our cardiopulmonary system.
especially the smoke in the house. Whenever you have chula and the full house is full of smoke, so the mother, the ladies in the house, and others who are cooking, they absorb all the SPM, smaller particles, and affect the
Exactly,
lungs.
exactly. Right, sir. Right. So now we have discussed that yes, air pollution is having the harmful effects, and there are various health effects which are short term and long term. Now, how we measure the air quality, that how air quality is pure or impure. So we measured it in terms of air quality index. Air quality index, which is commonly known as AQI. Many of the maximum majority of the people are knowing about it, that AQI, it is a tool which is used by government agencies to communicate to the general public that how polluted your air is. And AQI value is divided into 6 major category based upon how much hazardous is it for the human health. So based upon the harmful effects, it is classified into 6 different categories, starting from good to severe. ग्रीन का मतलब है कि अच्छा संकेत है, इट इज अ गुड इंडिकेटर, एयर क्वालिटी इज गुड. सीवियर मीन्स अब बहुत बेकार हो गई है. सो व्हेन वी विल से दैट वी आर लिविंग इन अ हेल्दी एनवायरमेंट, एंड व्हेन वी विल से दैट वी आर लिविंग इन एन अनहेल्दी एनवायरमेंट. सो इफ द AQI is ranging between 0 to 100, right? So air quality is good to satisfactory, it is healthy for us, we can go outside, there is no problem, there is no harm if we are exposing more even to towards the uh, uh, outdoor air quality. But if the air quality index value goes more than 200, then it's an indicator now air quality is degrading, and now we have to stop our outdoor activities, and we have to make some plannings that when we should go outdoor and when we should not go outdoor. So after the 200, it's a matter of problem, and between 100 to 200 it's moderate, that we can go or we can't go depending upon the level and the severity of any groups. So AQI has been categorized into these 6 range, and this is our Indian system. In our Indian system, we are using these 6 range, whereas USCP and other agencies are having different color categorization also. But India's CPCB has given these 6 colors for AQI, and These are the 5 major air pollutants: particulate matter, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and the ground level ozone, by which the air quality has been measured by the concentration of these values into the formula of AQI. The AQI has been calculated. And what's the effect of these different AQI categorization? So if the AQI ranging between 0 to 50, then we can say that it's good and minimal impact on human health. 51 to 100 also, it's good. Only the sensitive people, that is those people who are already having certain kind of asthma or bronchitis, they are having some breathing difficulties. Whereas if the AQI is between 101 to 200, then breathing discomfort to the people who are having lung and heart disease, children and elder. And if it's poor, if it is coming under the poor category, then the prolonged exposure, means long-term exposure, may cause breathing discomfort. And very poor means respiratory illness to the people. Now at poor category there is only breathing discomfort, but at very poor category there can be the respiratory illness like asthma and all. And this is when the air quality index is greater than 401. This is the case when in Delhi during the November, the air quality most of the time coming under this category, severe category, when even the healthy people, if the people is healthy, they can also have the effect on their respiratory health. So now, is the entire country or the entire Delhi is equally polluted? The answer is no. Not the entire country or not the entire Delhi is equally polluted. There are certain hotspots. There are places in India where the air pollution level is much high. So we need to identify these hotspots first. Whenever we are making any stringent plan, whenever we are making any action plan, then it is very important to identify the hotspot first. And this analysis has been done by our team based upon the 15 monitoring station data of continuous ambient air quality monitoring system of Central Pollution Control Board. And this data is for 5 years from 2016 to 2020. So you can see that from these diagrams that in 2016 this red color zone is more, right? In 2016 the red areas are more, whereas gradually these red areas has been decreased. Gradually these red areas has been decreased, means somehow we are able to manage the air quality somehow, but still it is much higher than the national ambient air quality standards which are given by our pollution control boards. Still we are having higher. And if I am looking at these diagrams, then generally the air quality of Delhi is ranging in the poor category. These are the annual levels, and the Delhi's annual levels, according to annual levels, the air quality of Delhi is poor, coming under poor category. Whereas during 2020, because 2020 was the year of COVID-19 pandemic. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a stringent practices, the lockdown in the entire India. There is shutdown of vehicular activities, industrial activities, road constructional activities. So that's why the air during that time is coming to be much cleaner if we are comparing with the previous year. And after 2016 and 2017 also, the number of good days has been increased. So now why these good days has been increased, we will discuss later. So there are certain air quality sensor are nothing but these are the devices which monitor that how much air is polluted in our area. And these sensors are used for both indoor as well as outdoor. And these sensors were very expensive in the previous time, but now due to the advancement in the technologies, these sensors are coming in low cost also. So these are the devices which senses how much the air pollution is present in our air, and these measures. So there are 5 common type of air sensors. There are many more also, but these are the 5 which are majorly used by any industries also. such as particulate matter sensor, which sense that how much particulate matter is present in our air. Then there are gas sensor, which are again classified into 4 categories: carbon monoxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide. Majority of the industries are having the presence of these kind of sensors with them, so that they can measure that how much their industry is polluted and how much is not, and they have to give this record to the government agencies also during the monitoring also. And these sensor can be the mobile based low cost sensor, and there are government operated sensors which are high cost sensor, which are placed at a particular place, having in India, in Delhi we are having nearly approximately 50 continuous ambient air quality monitoring stations, which are high cost. One station costs approximately 1 crore rupees, and there are some low cost sensors which we can even place in our school bag also, or at our home also. And there are some satellite based remote sensors also, which measure how much is the air is polluted, how much the particulate matter load is there. So now the most important thing is air pollution in Delhi and NCR. Today we are discussing air pollution in Delhi and NCR in more prescribed manner. You all know that there is always a blame game for Delhi's air pollution. Somebody said that the air pollution is more by the stubble burning because farmer are the responsible. Somebody said that industry is present. Somebody said that transportation and firecrackers ज़्यादा जला दिए इसलिए pollution ज़्यादा हो गया. So there is a blame game that किसने pollution किया. And also this blame game has generally taking place during the winter. Now why winter? Why not during the entire year? Why only with the onset of winter the problem of air pollution get refreshened in everyone's mind that we have to control the pollution? Delhi always coming into highlight that the air pollution is very high, very high. So what are the main things which are making the air pollution in Delhi and NCR to be the high? So the first reason is winter inversion. In winter, the lower layer is cold and the upper is inversion. So this doesn't expand out the pollutant outside or the upper. So the pollutant is again, coming back into the troposphere layer. So the pollutant doesn't disperse, and that's why the complete blanket of gases has been observed during the winter season. So winter inversion, which is a natural phenomena and to which we can't control, is one of the reasons. Then the second reason is that during the winter season, more solid waste burning practices were there. During winter time, we burn the more solid waste. We burn the more biomass burning practices were there. Garbage ज़्यादा होता है winter में, so we burn the more garbage. So all of these things are creating the health problems. Also, there is a study by United States Environmental Protection Agencies who said that if the temperature will reduce from 24 degrees Celsius to 7 degrees Celsius, then it may increase the fuel consumption in every urban commuters by 12 to 28%. It means vehicles during the winter uses more fuels. So that's again the main reason that in Delhi we are having high amount of vehicles, so more fuel consumption is there. Also, more household use of solid fuels. In winters we are having more heating purposes, more cooking purposes, more commercial activities, more domestic purposes. बहुत सारे लोग अगर रोड पे जाते होंगे, बहुत सारे लोग ना हाथ सेक रहे होते हैं अपने, so भुट्टा and all भून रहे होते हैं. So all of these things are the solid fuels and more heating purposes. So these all increase during the winter. And then also during the winter, the meteorological conditions are adverse. During the winter, the meteorological conditions are adverse, and it is also responsible for the same. During the winter, we are having low wind speed, low mixing height, and which doesn't lead the pollutant to escape outside. So that's one of the problem. Okay, so here is the link. That how meteorological conditions are unfavorable for Delhi. So from this diagram, you can see that there is the wind speed, wind flow, and wind flow in this pattern, like all the wind which is coming, and this is somehow, stuck in between this region. The wind speed from this direction, all of this wind coming into this direction and stuck somehow nearby the region of Delhi, nearby the region of Uttar Pradesh. So all the pollutant which was dispersed from long range transport has stuck in this Delhi. So this is the effect of meteorological condition also, that why the pollution level is high at Delhi and the entire Indo-Gangetic plan due to the meteorological conditions. So adverse meteorological conditions were also one of the causing factor. And other than this, before the onset of winter, there are two extreme episodic events. Number one is Diwali celebration, and number two is the stubble burning. Research finding has said that contribution of stubble burning is nearly 5 to 35% on Delhi's air, depending upon from which direction wind is coming, what is the wind speed. Stubble burning contributes nearly 5 to 35% pollution to Delhi's ambient air. But now, after looking into the entire sources, we can estimate that there should not be the blame game. Each and every parameter, each and every citizen is equally responsible for increasing the air pollution, whether it is the vehicular load, whether it is the stubble burning, whether it is firecracker burning. Everyone and every source is responsible for such such hazardous situation. So it should not be the blame game. If we want to really control, then we have to control on all the parameters, rather than blaming only on the farmers. So this is the one thing, and that's one of the source apportionment studies which is for from the Safar and Terry. These two has done this source apportionment studies for particulate matter emission in Delhi. And you can see that the sources of air pollution even in the two studies also differ little. So Safar study said that transport contributes nearly 41% for the PM 2.5 emission. Terry study said that 39, but both of the studies said that transport is the prime cause of ambient air pollution in Delhi, and followed by industries according to Safar, and according to Terry, then there are other parameters such as wind blown and constructional activities, and same here. So these are sources of ambient air pollution in Delhi, in which transport has been considered as the prime. Then second has been considered as the wind blown and all the road dust and the constructional activities. And now we are coming towards that these sources are also differ season wise. So in winter we are having some different kind of sources, in summer we are having different kind of sources for this pollution. So during winter, since I said that vehicle uses more fuel, so vehicles are the more 23% here, and whereas in summer vehicle contributes 18%. In summer the dust storm events observed during May June are more. So in summer dust storms contributes 34%, whereas during the winter dust storm movements were less, so it contributes nearly 15%. So now this is the video which EnviroVigyan has shared on their social media platforms to raise awareness regarding air pollution. Yes, so as discussed in this video that in ambient transportation has been considered as approximately 40% responsible factor uh, for the pollution in Delhi's ambient air. So we need to control this pollution, and for controlling transportation, we should have a public transportation should be extended. We need more number of metros, we need more number of buses on the road, so that public transport should be easily accessible to everyone. And now this is a picture which shows that you know, taking the ambient air or inhaling the ambient air is equivalent to inhaling many number of cigarettes. This is the data for 11th and 12th November of for 2021, and this you can see that one cigarette is equivalent to inhalation of 22 microgram per meter cube of you know and 22 microgram per meter cube of particulate matter 2.5. So inhaling Delhi's ambient air for one day is equivalent to inhaling or taking 15 number of cigarettes if the concentration is 327.35. Similarly, other countries, Delhi nearby regions such as Faridabad, Ghaziabad, Gurugram, Noida, we all are inhaling the impure air, which is almost equivalent to inhaling multiple number of cigarettes every day. And this is the diagram which shows that this is for tomorrow, कल की ही बात है 22 जनवरी 2022 को. This is the condition of air quality index for Delhi, Faridabad, Ghaziabad, Gurugram, and Noida. The air quality of Delhi, Faridabad, Gurugram, all are coming under the very poor category. Very poor category means if we are exposing such kind of air for the long time, then maybe many of us may have the respiratory illness, have the cardiopulmonary illness on the long-term exposure. So this is the situation, and we all are crying for this fact that we are really inhaling the impure air. And this picture shows the air quality index of Delhi from year 2016 to 2021. If you are looking at the number of good days, green is the number of good days, then it increased gradually from 25 to 45 to 53 to 59 to 95 to 72. During 2095 was due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Because of the lockdown, we were able to see the more good days. And similarly, the number of bad days has been reduced drastically over the years. Over the years, the number of bad days has been reduced, whereas number of good days has been reduced. But unfortunately, still the ambient air quality for majority of the time is coming under the moderate, under the poor category or the very poor category. This is the annual representation for the air quality index. And you can see that there are certain months when the air quality is good. There are certain months when the air quality is even more hazardous that we ever think. So there are days in the July, August, September when the air quality is coming under, this good category. There are days when the air quality is coming into this green category, and there are the months when majority of the time air quality remains into the moderate category. Maximum number of times it coming into the very poor or moderate category. Whereas during the November, the air quality is worse in the highest. As you can see that 2 November, 4 November, the air quality is always coming into these above these red line. So November, December, January, these are the 3 months when the problem of air quality is more. And now we all know that during November, the problem is high. And after looking at this problem, the Supreme Court has a complete ban on crackers, fireworks the last year. But even after the ban on the firework, the situation of the filter paper, which we have do the real-time monitoring, this is the condition of the filter paper, air filter paper pre-Diwali, and that's the location that the air is comparatively visible. And this is on the day of Diwali, that the air pollution, that the filter paper is completely polluted and the visibility has been reduced. So even after the banning of the firecrackers, the after Diwali last year was celebrated on 4th November. Before Diwali, the AQI was somehow moderate, or somehow it is very poor. But after Diwali celebration, again the category air quality was coming into the severe category. That is the category when even the healthy people will observe the respiratory effects. Even the healthy people, if go outside the ambient air, may have the breathing discomfort, may have the risk of having the respiratory illness. So this is just immediately after the Diwali celebration. And then the situation after Diwali was continues, like we are having the severe days for air. But on 23rd November, we are thankful to the high wind speed that at least the air quality was, I'm not saying that it is good, but at least it shifted from very poor to poor category. The air quality was shifted from very poor to poor category after the 23rd November, because on 23rd November there is a high wind speed of 25 km per hour, which is helpful in the complete dispersion of the air pollution. So thankfully, and this is a situation AQI trend in Delhi from October 2021 to December 2021, that during the October, you can see that the peaks are having very less red color. Peaks are, generally coming into these peaks are at the yellow, I mean moderate category of air quality. But in November and December, the peaks are high with red categories, means November and December, the pollution is high. This is for October to December 2021. And now how the GRAP, which is Graded Response Action Plan by the CPCB, in which we have taken several stages, like we shut down the industries, many of the vehicular activities, ban of the entry of trucks. Then after the implementation of GRAP, after post-Diwali, the concentration were increased so high, and there is smog episode observed in 2017. Then GRAP was implemented for this window period. And after the implementation of GRAP, you can see that the pollution level was somehow reduced due to the implementation of GRAP. So yes, any action policy taking into effective manner, then they are helpful in reducing the pollution load. And these are the measures which are announced by the Delhi government to control the air pollution. These are some of the measures that construction, they banned last year. They banned the construction activity from November 14 to November 17 for 3-day constructional activity, completely banned. And all the government officers should work from home so that less vehicle should be used. And different advisories were set up for the private companies. And there is a weekend curfew also for the same. And this is a study which has been published in Hindustan Times newspaper, that in Delhi and NCR, almost 4 in 5 families are affected by the harmful effects of air pollution. When for a survey of approximately 34,000 respondents, they have observed that in which 66% were male and 66 were female and 34 were male. Then they have find out that out of these 34,000 people, approximately 16% are having cough, sore throat, 16% are having running nose, congestion, 16% people are facing breathing difficulty, whereas only 20% are having no impact. It means 20% are having not any impact. It means other 80% is having effect. So 4 out of 5 families are affected by the harmful effects of air pollution. Now, not only Delhi, we are always blaming that Delhi is highly polluted. But now I will show you the data in which Delhi is not highly polluted, other cities are highly polluted. And that's because of the Indo-Gangetic Plain. The entire Indo-Gangetic Plain is polluted. And in this Indo-Gangetic Plain, most of the cities of the UP, Uttar Pradesh, are polluted. And this is a study by EnviroVigyan, in which we have analyzed the data of Central Pollution Control Board for 8th November. And we have identified that out of 10 most polluted cities in country, 8 are from Delhi. Oh, sorry, 8 are from Uttar Pradesh. And surprisingly, out of these 8 Uttar Pradesh, people said that Vrindavan is very clean, and people goes for puja and all on weekend days for Radhe Krishna and all. Vrindavan was found to be the highly polluted on 8th November. Now, what's the reason of high pollution at Vrindavan during 8th November? See, on 4th November, there was Diwali celebrated, and after Diwali, there was a weekend day. So, Saturday, Sunday, most of the Delhi commuters, most of the Delhi people go Vrindavan temple for puja and all, and for their purpose, family to tour purpose also. And also during that time, so the overall vehicular pollution was moving toward that direction. And also, even despite the government ban on firecrackers, the firecrackers at this place were so much. So all of these additive factors are responsible for degrading the air quality, and out of 10, 8 are from Uttar Pradesh. Now the question is, are we all equally at the same risk of air pollution? The answer is no. We all are not equally at the same risk from air pollution. There are certain vulnerable groups, there are certain sensitive groups who are having the high risk of air pollution. So, who are these groups? Number one, the individual who are already having the heart related diseases, they are impacted more. Number two, the individuals who are having the lung related diseases, they are impacted more. Number three, all the pregnant women are at the risk by the ambient air pollution. Number four is the outdoor workers who work mostly in the ambient air. They are at the high risk. Number fifth, elder people whose lung and whose organs become weakened. So they are at the high risk. The last, the athletes, all these athletes who vigorously exercise in outdoor ambient air are at risk. So different people are having different kind of risk. And this is the data by the Indian Council of Medical Research for the year 2017. This is for Delhi 2016 death. And you can see that in Delhi in 2016, there is total 530 lung cancer death. These are only the reported death, whereas the real death number were always more than the reported one, at least double number of deaths. So 530 deaths were due to the lung cancer. And in these 530 deaths, most of the deaths are for the age group more than 45 years. And these are more for the males. And similarly, for the circulatory diseases also, total number of 15,917 deaths are alone observed in Delhi's ambient air. These are again more for the male and less for the female. And respiratory illness is also observed a total 8,260 according to Indian Council for Medical Research. And for respiratory, even the people who are having less than 14-year age, they are also find out with respiratory system diseases. And these are the total number of deaths by various different respiratory and circular diseases. So lung cancer, acute rheumatic fever, chronic rheumatic heart diseases, hypersensitive diseases, ischemic heart diseases, pulmonary circulation, and other diseases, other upper and lower respiratory system diseases. So these are the distribution of how these diseases differ. And the chances of lung cancer are much more in males if we are comparing with female. That's the case for the urban area. This case may differ for the rural areas, because in rural areas, women are working on chulas and all. So the scenarios differ from area to area. This is for the Delhi. For Delhi's ambient air, it has been found that male are at high risk. Now, why male are at high risk? Because male are having more cigarette smoking practices, and male are somehow exposed to outdoor air for most of the time if we are comparing with the same with the females. And now we have read that the entire Delhi's case study. Now we will read about that how we can deal with this air pollution. Okay, we read about its sources, health effects. Now it's the turn that how we will deal with this air pollution. So there are two main ways how we will deal. We need to reduce the source, that is सबसे important चीज है कि वो चीज आती कहाँ से है उसको कंट्रोल करो. So from where it is coming to control it. So we need to control the source. We need to reduce the source. We need to reduce the vehicles, industries, constructional activities, road dust. Okay, we need to ensure more anti-dust campaigns. And second thing is that how can we reduce the exposure? कैसे हम खुद को बचाएं कि हम खराब एयर क्वालिटी ज्यादा ना ले. So we can control it by two things, by controlling the source and by controlling the exposure. So now there are, to reduce the exposure, how can we reduce the exposure? Number one is choose your route wisely. Okay, whenever you are going outside, then choose the route where the number of vehicles are less, where the pollution level is low. Always download any app of air quality index such as IQ Air, CPCB's air quality index. So through this app, identify that what is the air quality index outside your home, then choose the route accordingly where the AQI was less. And also the time of the day matters, that the air pollution is not constant throughout the day. It is constant during the rush hours. It is higher during the early winter or early morning during the winter. So this is second thing. Third thing, that we need to do a reality check on our mask. We have to check whether we have properly put the mask. Don't just only ki mask हमने अपने नाक से नीचे लगा लिया और mask लगाया. No, you have to properly put the mask covering your nose completely. And then if somebody is having very high symptoms, high respiratory illness, then please consider air purifier at your home. But this is the last case, if the high respiratory problems are there. Now, there are certain actions which we all can take to control air pollution. Today in this webinar, we are having persons from different groups. Some school children also there. Some of the academicians, college students are there. Some people from industries maybe there. So different organizational people are there. And more importantly, we all are individual, right? So we all can take the actions at 4 stages. We can take actions at individual level, at family level, at organization level, and at school level. So what are the actions we can take at individual level? Number one is carpooling. At individual level, carpooling. आज के टाइम में एक घर है, 2 गाड़ियां हैं, 3 गाड़ियां हैं. Everybody is going from different car. So ask your father that, Papa, I'm going to my school. Can you please drop me because you are having the same route? Okay, ask your father that I want to go to college, so please drop me. Okay, so you can do the more bicycling processes. Individually put the mask when the AQI outside the air is more cycling. Plan your day activities. And in the starting of the presentation, somebody said that plant more trees. So yes, plant more trees, because plants are the one who are having the natural sequestration process. Plant sequestrate the carbon dioxide. Plants sequestrate, indoor air plants sequestrate various toxic compounds such as benzene, toluene, ethyl benzene, xylene, formaldehyde, various organic compounds, various organic pollutant. So these are the actions which individual taken. Now there are some family people at today's webinar. Maybe there is some family people, they are concerned about the health of their children, right? That अगर मेरे बच्चे ने इतनी खराब एयर ली, then उसका फ्यूचर क्या होगा? कहीं वो भी एक कैंसर की चपेट में आने वाला बच्चा तो नहीं बन जाएगा. So we need to take actions at family level also. What we can do at our family? We can check our cooking fuel. Cooking fuel should be choose wisely, and we should use less paint material, less number of disinfectant, less number of these cleaning agents and all, and plan your day with your kids when levels were low, when the sun rays were more, and segregate your waste accordingly so that लोग उसको ज़्यादा जला के ना इनिशियल लेवल पर ही उसको सेग्रीगेट कर लें. एंड मोर गार्डनिंग, डू अ होम गार्डन, डू यू मेक योर ऑन होम गार्डन. एंड फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पीपल, और they have to stagger the office timing, right? So that सुबह के टाइम में ही सारा एकदम से ट्रैफिक ना बढ़े. So staggered office timing, or do some alternative days kind of thing, and increase the green cover at your organization. And the ventilation system at organization should be good. There should be good ventilation and conserve more energy resources. And at school also, school can, you know, plan the annual events during the less pollution months, because mostly annual events were, you know, take place in the ground, in the school ground, which is outdoor ambient air. So plan such kind of annual events during the less polluted months. Always cover your schools by more green. Always provide a good ventilation to the schools. So these are some of the actions which we can take. And most importantly, the health of our lung is also depend upon what we eat. So it is very, very important to eat right, so that we can reduce the effects of air pollution. So what we have to write, what we have to eat, we have to eat the natural fruits, the natural vegetables, the more intake of turmeric, flaxseed, tomato, spinach, broccoli, jaggery, berries, and all the citrus fruits. These all things are having the antioxidant, anti-cancerous, anti-allergens properties. So the consumption of these things is more favored. And we have to, you know, reduce the, जो आज के बच्चे सबसे ज़्यादा कर रहे हैं, fast food, sugar and aerated drinks, and deep fried items. So no, we have to cut down these things if you want to be healthy and you want to you know, stay away from the harmful effects of air pollution. Then please stop using the consumption of these things. It is very important. Now there are 2-3 videos which at EnviroVigyan we made to motivate the citizens to use the bicycling for air pollution. And here is the list of 5 low-cost indoor air purifiers. Obviously, not everybody can, you know, purchase the air purifiers, which are costly. And on the second hand, these air purifier again make a burden on our sustainability, make a burden on e-waste. So there contain 5 low-cost indoor air purifier which everybody should have in their home, and they all can plant it. So these are the 5 plant species. Also, on 7th September every year International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies has been observed. ये वो blue skies है जो पहले हमें दिखते थे, but अब somehow such kind of blue skies we are not able to see normally. So it is our right to see our air blue, to see the more birds in the air. So for this, every year International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies has been observed, and there are some facts about this day. And these are some of the international recognition which I have been provided for my research work on air quality at various platforms such as Shanghai Cooperation Organization, BRICS Young Scientist Conclave, and at University of Nottingham. And so with this, thank you so much everyone for patiently listening today's session. And I'm requesting our all audience for joining our campaign Air Ka Care, because the air is highly polluted and we need to join, we need to control it. So EnviroVigyan is already working a lot for controlling the air, for awareing the people about all the facts related with the air pollution. So thank you so much.
So, as Dr. Aanchal mentioned about Air Ka Care campaign, you all may write small message for clean air and take your photo with the message and share it on our social media pages like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Or you can easily email us to envirovigyan@gmail.com. For more details, you can also visit EnviroVigyan's website and its pages like available at different social media platforms. So finally, on the behalf of our whole EnviroVigyan team, I thank Dr. Aanchal Garg for providing great knowledge about air pollution sources, health effect, control, and management strategies. So thank you once again to each and everyone. With this note, I'm ending this webinar here. Hope we will meet soon. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yes. And we also shared the feedback link in the chat box. You can fill this feedback form, which will motivate us to for doing such awareness campaign even more. And you can be the part of this awareness campaign. And if you want to be the part of this campaign, then you can mail us at our email ID, as Dr. Priyanka Kumari has mentioned. So thank you so much. If anybody is having any question from today's presentation, they can also ask us on our mail or our social media pages. So we will always be giving the question, what kind of question you will ask, we will provide the solution for the same. Thank you.
So I think we should end this session here. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for attending this workshop. Have a nice day, all of you. Thank you.